In the Islamic world, cats are not only seen as pets, but as symbols of purity and mercy. Our relationship with these graceful creatures is not just a fleeting one. Its roots stretch back over centuries of Islamic history. But why are cats held in such high regard? What makes them an integral part of the daily, cultural, and religious lives of Muslims? In this video, we will embark on a journey through time to explore the spiritual journey of cats in Islam. We will go back to the days of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, examine Islamic attitudes towards animals, and move forward through the medieval period, where cats roam freely in mosques and streets, all the way to modern times, where they are still treated with respect and admiration. Get ready to discover the incredible mysteries of cats in Islam. Let's travel back to the 7th century CE. In a time when the world was often cruel and indifferent towards animals, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, brought a revolutionary message. His message was not only about how to treat fellow human beings, but also about how to show compassion to animals. The Prophet taught his followers that mercy should extend to all of God's creatures, including cats. The most famous story is that of his beloved cat, Muetza. Imagine the scene. The Prophet sitting in his home, Muetza peacefully asleep on the sleeve of his robe. When the time for prayer came, rather than disturb his beloved cat, the Prophet gently cut the part of his garment where Muetza was resting, allowing him to leave without waking the cat. This simple yet profound gesture was filled with compassion and appreciation for living beings. This merciful behavior was not an isolated incident. It was part of the Prophet's daily philosophy of life. He taught Muslims that Allah rewards every act of kindness, even towards animals. The Prophet once said, "Whoever does not show mercy will not be shown mercy," and this mercy extended to even the smallest and most vulnerable of creatures. An agreement that cats are pure creatures. Muslims can pray in places where cats are present without worrying about being spiritually impure. This is based on a hadith in which the Prophet said about cats, "They are not impure. They are among those who frequently roam around you." This acknowledgement of the purity of cats made them a regular part of Muslim daily life. They roamed freely in mosques, slept near worshippers, and became an integral part of the community. In Islam, purity is not only about physical cleanliness, but also about the purity of spirit and heart. As such, cats were treated with respect, reflecting the deeper view of how Muslims are meant to treat all of God's creatures with care and appreciation. As the Islamic State expanded, cats could be found almost everywhere. In bustling markets, cats could be seen roaming freely among traders and merchants, cared for and fed from food scraps. In homes, they protected against pests and insects, living in harmony with humans. Perhaps the most symbolic place where cats were welcomed was in mosques. In sacred places like the Grand Mosque in Mecca and the Prophet's Mosque in Medina, cats were treated with love and respect. They were allowed to enter the mosques and wander among the worshippers without being considered a disturbance. In fact, cats were seen as symbols of purity and peace, which is why they were welcomed in these spiritual spaces. One of the prominent Islamic figures who demonstrated great love for cats was Imam Malik, the founder of the Maliki school of Islamic jurisprudence. It is said that he had a deep affection for cats, and they would accompany him during his lectures and scholarly gatherings. Some stories even mention that cats would sit beside him while he taught, and he showed them great kindness and respect. This behavior was not unusual but part of the Islamic tradition of showing mercy and kindness to animals. Many scholars and thinkers throughout Islamic history displayed similar attitudes, reflecting the merciful and spiritual nature that characterized Islamic civilization. Cats' importance was not limited to daily life, but also found its way into Islamic literature and poetry. In popular stories and folk legends, cats were often seen as symbols of wisdom and contemplation. Some stories tell of cats that helped scholars find inspiration or accompanied thinkers during moments of reflection and writing. Cats also appeared in Islamic poetry, where they were praised for their grace and intelligence. In many poems, cats were used as symbols of friendship and companionship, reminding people of the importance of connecting with the creatures that share this world with us. Now, let's fast forward to modern times, where Muslims' love for cats remains as strong as ever. In Turkey, especially in Istanbul, cats are treated with special respect. They roam freely in streets and markets, cared for by locals who consider them part of their Islamic heritage. In mosques, such as the Blue Mosque and the Sulaimani Mosque, you can see cats resting beside worshippers, creating a scene of harmony between humans and nature. Even in Mecca and Medina, where millions of Muslims gather annually for Hajj and Umrah, cats can be seen wandering among the pilgrims, living peacefully in these sacred places. Their presence there is a living testament to the long-standing Islamic tradition of respecting and honoring animals. On a deeper level, cats in Islam teach us valuable spiritual lessons. The independence and humility of cats teach us the balance between self-reliance and trust in God's plan. Cats, with their quiet wisdom, remind us that we need to be humble and compassionate toward all of God's creations. Ultimately, cats are not just pets in Islam. They are part of a greater spiritual journey that reminds us that Allah is merciful to all His creatures. By treating these creatures with love and respect, we come closer to understanding the depth of divine mercy. When we look at the relationship between Muslims and cats, we see that it is not merely a bond of affection for animals, but a connection filled with lessons about mercy and humility. From the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to the present day, cats have always been symbols of purity, companionship, and compassion. In the end, the presence of cats in our lives serves as a constant reminder that Islam teaches us to be merciful to all of God's creatures and to engage with the world around us with a heart full of love and appreciation.